And good evening. Welcome to Question Your Perception Reality 2.0. And we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Cloud Hub, MeWe. We're everywhere. It's almost like we're famous. And, well, it's been a couple weeks since I've joined you. I got knocked on my ass by that immunization thing. Let's get the vaccine. Kicked my ass. I was down for a couple days. Couldn't function. But good news, I'm safe. None of the rest of you are. Apparently, there's a new variant going around, and we're all going to catch it and die. Yay! Well, that's if you listen to California. They've already reimposed mask mandates, and they're heading for lockdowns. Just like I've been saying for the last 6 months, the government will never, ever give back the liberties that it takes. And they're just doing it.
Did you say lockdowns again?
Lockdowns again!
Are you
Lock
kidding
them
me?
down! Australia's been locked down. UK's been locked down. Israel's been locked down.
Canada?
I don't know. I actually haven't heard it.
I thought Toronto was still locked down.
I don't think they ever opened up.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess that's what I meant, sort of.
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't see anything that they're relocking down because I think they're still locked down. It is absolutely insane, ladies and gentlemen.
That's insane.
And if you identify as something else, stop. It's either ladies and gentlemen. Stop with that horse shit. I've had enough of that. I've watched the Olympic trials. You say some lady going crazy about drives me batty. This is the world we live in today, and these people are crazy. You're either a guy or you're a girl, and that's the end of it. You're not a shrub. Stop.
I identify as COVID immune.
Well, you actually are. As am I now, apparently. Maybe.
Sure.
But you know what? I had an interaction today with a gentleman that I admire. He's actually a pretty smart guy, and he said he identifies as vaccinated. And I said, well, are you? And he said, no. Well, here's the problem. Okay, and I'm fine with that. I kind of chuckled. I'm fine with you not being vaccinated. That's your choice. I'm fine with you taking that risk. Again, that's on you. I don't care. The problem is the government has shown its propensity of taking the ability to choose away from you and locking you down, making you wear masks. So why are we doing this? Because we don't think the government's going to do it again? Yeah, just like California. They're already doing it.
I think the deal was they were going to trust the science, and the science said that the lockdowns and the social distancing and the masks that didn't do very much.
No,
so
it didn't.
We're going to ignore the science now, and we'll go back to what we want to do.
Right. Again, as I've been saying for months, the government will never, ever give the liberties back to the people that they took away in the first place.
Unless you take it back, like rioting and looting and
Right.
burning and pillaging and all of that
That's
stuff.
mostly peaceful protests.
Right, the peaceful way, not
Right.
the unpeaceful way. I thought I was being clear. I wasn't being clear enough.
Yeah,
You have to be peaceful when you riot and you burn and you loot and you murder.
That's right.
Peacefully.
And for God's sakes, if you're gonna storm the Capitol, okay, in this massive breach of security, don't storm it without weapons, okay? Because apparently
No,
they just...
I disagree with that. If you're going to storm the Capitol, accept the consequences and be a hero, or don't do it. If you're the QAnon shaman and you're in jail now,
Still
be
in jail.
glad you're there. Take one for the team. Stand up for whatever it is you're standing up for, and be a political prisoner or whatever. If that's the choice you're making, doing the thing.
What about the narrative that's been put forth?
The narrative?
The narrative, like this was this deadly protest.
Oh, well.
It was deadly for 5 people, and only one of them was involved.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not
How is
deadly.
it a deadly protest?
It was deadly funny.
It was deadly, absolutely.
It's hilarious.
But the narrative gets put forth, and these guys are thrown in jail because they're, subversion or I don't think they were charged
I
with
could
treason.
see them going to jail 100%,
Why?
Because that's how power works. It's not about right or wrong or who's doing what and this or that. It's how power...
I'll agree with you on that. It's definitely how power works.
Yeah.
But the problem is that narrative... We have 70 million, 80 million people who supposedly voted for some guy with white hair. They still think that this protest was this attack on democracy, when it was just the opposite of it.
You get that. They don't understand that.
It was
You're not gonna
60,000
win.
people trying to get democracy back.
You're not gonna get them to change their mind.
Yeah,
Right.
I get that, and that's why.
That's what we really have to understand is like the state of the union is that we are so divided that you're not going to get them to change their mind on what it is they think that July 6th was. What was it? Well, they were told it was this by who? The people they listen to. So
that's true.
What you're doing is you have to understand how the regular Joe processes the information. He's trying to pay his mortgage, and he's trying to make sure his kid gets to soccer, and he's trying to recycle and make the world a better place and all that other stuff. And he's listening to NPR, and he's listening to CNN and MSNBC, and they're saying the insurrection. That's drilled into their brain. The way I never looked at it as an insurrection.
No,
it was stupid. I don't think I don't think it accomplished what they wanted to accomplish.
I don't think there was ever a chance it could accomplish it.
It wasn't peaceful protests like Martin Luther King changed minds. QAnon shaman is a joke. That's it in a nutshell. Prove me wrong.
I unfortunately I can't prove you wrong. It's
never happened.
Oh boy, oh that's a challenge, and I'll gladly accept that. But we're sitting here 6 months later, 7 months later, and we're still being force-fed this narrative because every couple of days or so, someone else has been arrested. I think it was 2 people in Florida were just arrested, I believe, last Friday. That I guess they had taken a selfie in the Capitol. And they finally caught up to them 7 months later. By the way, I now understand how 9/11 happened. Okay, I get it. Okay, These guys posted their pictures on Facebook for God's sakes.
I do believe that you get what you deserve if you're gonna commit I mean, yes, it's a crime, just like protesting is a crime. If the prosecutor wants to prosecute you or let you go, that's up to them.
That's
Who's
right.
in power? If you're BLM, you get let go. If you're not BLM, you have to understand which way the wind's blowing. If the wind is blowing to the left, you go right.
I believe the wind has never blown to the right. It always seems to favor one side, okay? Which is just, regardless of who's in power, I mean, that just exacerbates it a little bit, is you have one side that is always playing the victim. They're always playing the victim. They're always the ones that are you can't offend them. You can't. It's absolutely ridiculous. You have 70 million people who voted for Donald Trump in the last election, and where's our voices? They're not being heard. You got this joke in the White House right now, and that's exactly what it is. It's a joke. This guy can't walk upstairs, for God's sakes. We've witnessed this, okay? And then they put forth the narrative. Well, the wind blew him over. Are you kidding me? Okay, right then in January or February, whenever that happened, right then everybody, all 336 million people in this country, says, okay, this is a joke. The wind blew him over. Shut up.
Joe Biden is a lightweight. That's the title.
That's my next meme. I'm gonna do it.
He's a lightweight.
I might get pulled.
I'm here for the dad jokes, people.
That's good stuff, though. So, okay, the Delta variant's on the rise. The new coronavirus variant, more deadly, more transmissible. Which, by the way, according to these headlines that I'm reading right now, 1 in every 4 cases in the United States. So that's roughly 2,700, because we have about 11,000 right now. Okay, 1 in 2,700. It's the Delta variant. Do you think for 1 minute they've tested all 2,700 of those people? Nope. That's a computer model, boys and girls. As soon as they say 1 in 4, you know it's a computer model. They are just trying to scare you. It's more transmissible. It's more deadly. They have no idea about that. They still don't know how deadly the original strain was. The one that leaked from the lab. They have no clue. So anytime you read this stuff, you have to say, okay, they are just trying to scare us. Why are they trying to do that? Because it's their goal to take away your freedoms. That's it. Okay? That's their goal. They need to have you more dependent on them. The only way to do that is to take away your freedoms for the sake of your health. Well, thank you.
That's from the beginning. I figured out by looking with an empirical eye that more people had coronavirus than we'll never know how many people have them. But as contagious as it was and as fast moving as it was, so many more people had it than anybody knew. And that skews the numbers way down into the part of not a thing.
Right.
In
That's
my opinion.
exactly right.
That's what
it's
it was.
A passing respiratory virus is what this is. Okay? If you take those numbers, because the numbers are pretty high. They've got to be pretty high. As of right now, it was 34 million people, I believe, have tested positive for coronavirus. Okay, now you take those false positives out of there all you want, and you still have northwards of 30 million people. That's 10% of the country. Okay, they said, and when I say they, CDC, WHO, they said 50% of these cases are going to be asymptomatic. First of all, there's no way to know that unless you created the damn thing. Okay, so even at best, at 50%, we're looking at 20% of the country has had it. And do you think for 1 minute that it started in the first case of a guy in Washington or in Kansas? No, that was the first guy who got a test and tested positive. To think that it started with one man and spread through this country like wildfire, you're a complete idiot. I tell you what, just turn off all your devices right now because you are that stupid. Okay? I'm telling you, I am fed up with this. The level of stupidity in this country right now is mind-boggling. If you think it started with one guy and spread like wildfire because we're told it did. Hell, I know people who are still wearing masks outside by themselves in the 100-degree heat. You are an idiot, okay? There is no danger to you whatsoever, and you are virtue signaling is what you're doing. You listen, you don't impress me, okay? I look at you and think you're a complete moron. There's no danger to you. There's no danger to me. I'm vaccinated, or so I've been told. Just stop. Okay, stop. You are giving the government more power. Stop with that. You are making their narrative truth. And we can't do that to them. They create their own truth as it is. You know, the lab leak theory. Oh, first of all, it's a crackpot conspiracy theory. I can't believe people are saying that. Well, you know, it could happen. This is the guy gets up in front of Congress 7 times and says, no, there's no way. Nope, there's no way. And then the 8th time, well, it's possible. Shut up. You damn well know what it is. Okay? And this is the people who we put in charge. I don't put in charge. They're appointed. Okay. That about ends my rant on coronavirus because this is just getting out of hand now. It's been getting out of hand for the last year and a half.
So this is coronavirus round 2.
That's exactly right.
Right? They lied about the first one. Why should we believe you about the second one?
That's exactly right.
Explain to me why you mishandled it so bad and you lost the public trust. And now, what is it that you think you're gonna do? I would like an answer, not from you, but more rhetorical from the politicians that don't care.
Right, and here's the thing with that is there's no accountability. They don't need to answer your question. They will impose their rules on you, okay? Because that is the power they have. We've had this discussion on power before. They have that power already. We don't need to give it to them. They've already been elected. These rich people who have no common sense, they're already in power. They can do what they want willy-nilly. We've seen this. Did any one of us say, you know what, I think we should wear masks everywhere we go? I guarantee no one ever has said that and written their member of Congress to say that. I guarantee it. Prove me wrong. You can't. Okay? So they took that power and they did what they wanted to. So to think that we need to give them any more power, or to think that we're owed an answer, we're not. It's just not the case. Take a deep breath.
Exactly.
And there's why my doctor said my blood pressure is a little high. I wonder why. Now we're gonna move to a lighter note. Did you see
building collapse? Lighter note.
The building collapse in Florida. Okay, these guys own this building. Okay,
These guys, you know.
these guys.
Okay? This Florida man owns a building.
Right. Apparently, a lot of problems with this building. A lot of fines. A lot of documented evidence that says this building's not safe. Nothing's done. Building comes down in a heap.
Yeah, that's kind of par for the course.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, all joking aside, 15 people have been found dead now.
Yeah.
And I believe 100. There's probably 140 behind that yet, where they just can't get to the bodies yet.
Well, yeah, that's really tragic. And it's an apartment building full of people. I mean, there's gonna be some casualties.
Oh yeah, I believe it was a bank ATM camera caught the video of it collapsing. Oh, nasty.
Yeah.
Just before that, you actually see people on the top floor on the balcony. It's like, oh, dude, even I can't watch that garbage.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Nah, it's tough. I mean,
I would hope these people are held accountable. I mean,
well, to what end? You know,
right.
How high up do you go, and how much do you manslaughter for 150 people? That's the rest of your life, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Manslaughter for one person is for most of your life.
Maybe.
So,
it depends.
right.
2 years to 10 years.
Unless you're Bill Cosby, you get out in 3. Oh, wait, sorry,
No,
I didn't say that out loud.
It was 2 years he got out.
Was it 2?
Yeah, but see, that was the problem with Bill Cosby is that is how the state operates.
Mm-hmm.
The state doesn't hold true to their word.
Well, apparently, according to an unnamed source, there was a deal in place.
There was a deal in place for him to testify without being prosecuted criminally.
Right.
But he was prosecuted civilly.
Mm-hmm.
So he was under the veil of that promise, and then they went ahead and did it anyway.
Criminally, yeah.
So now what I'd like to see is Bill Cosby sue the pants off the state.
Absolutely.
For hundreds of millions of dollars in a way, and I hate that that's the case because the taxpayer is ultimately on the line.
Sure.
But the taxpayers have to ultimately the taxpayers need to pay attention to who they're electing, and that's where the problem is. So we're going to pay through the nose because we don't pay attention.
Right. And again, these people with power can do what they want, and they're not accountable to anybody unless it comes to election time. Not like district attorneys and stuff. That's direct election stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a little bit of accountability at election time, but other than that, there is none. They can do whatever they want. And that's what you're seeing here, where they made this sweetheart deal. They went back on it, okay, for whatever reason. I don't know what their thinking was here. They went back on it. They prosecuted the guy. He was found guilty. They locked him up. And then somebody said, oh, wait, hey, hold on. You made a deal here.
Well, that somebody was the Pennsylvania Supreme Court.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I didn't see who.
The Supreme Court of Pennsylvania said, "Hey, this is BS. You guys, you can't do this."
Right.
Because it has implications that are far-reaching past this.
Absolutely.
This case. Like you're gonna screw everybody up if you have somebody like the tools they use, right? So, say you have a mobster or a gangbanger, right? And he doesn't want to testify, right? I am a gangbanger, and there's people above me that they want. I'm not going to say anything because it'll implicate me. I'm protected under the Fifth Amendment. I can't testify against myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. So here's what the sneaky snakes do, right? They take the threat of prosecution off the table, thereby mandatorily making them testify.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to testify because we're not going to prosecute you, and that's the deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so now you can either be held in contempt,
right,
almost indefinitely, or give up your
next in charge.
Yeah, the next guy in charge.
Yeah.
So if they want to lose that particular tool, right, which is unacceptable to the guys who have the tool,
right,
which is the manipulated
district attorneys and
yeah. So I don't like that particular tool that prosecutorial tool,
Right.
but it exists.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
the Bill Cosby thing flies in the face of that tool and is unconstitutional. And he should definitely sue the pants off the state because he provided testimony which indicted him, and he didn't have the option to not testify.
Right.
There is, that's the Fifth Amendment. Like, that is exactly what it's designed to do.
Right.
And guilty or not, that's not the question.
Right.
It's the process.
We're not talking about whether this guy did what he did. I don't
he
care.
Obviously, he admitted to something
right, yes.
on tape because he was going to be held in contempt indefinitely until he did. So, I mean, that strong-arm tactic right there is why this whole mess is here.
And these courts and these law enforcement agencies, they have this ability to get whatever evidence they want, they can get. Okay? And they can hold you in custody until they get it. And if you don't want to give it to them, well, you're just held in custody. Your freedoms are gone. So they use these little trinkets. Okay, listen, you can't. We're not gonna prosecute you. Just like you said before. We're not gonna prosecute you, but you have to tell us now.
Yep.
And we're at a point where
they want it both ways. I don't think
a lot of people know that this is what they do.
Oh,
and now we're seeing it. We're seeing it, in black and white, and
you get to see it. You get to see it in person. What's going on, and most people, like I said, are too busy with their lives to care about the prosecutor's tool bag.
Right.
But it's big and it's powerful.
Oh, I mean, I looked this up. I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago. In the state of New York, if you're being questioned by police, they have every ability to actually lie to you.
Oh, that's a Supreme Court decision.
Yeah,
that is the law of the land.
They can lie to you.
Police
in order to get a confession.
Not just a confession, but like any collection of any evidence, police are allowed to lie to you. So if they roll down the window and say, "Hey, you were speeding," and they know that you weren't speeding, but they were trying to get you to say, "Oh, I ran the stop sign, but I wasn't speeding." Right. It doesn't matter what they say, and effectively, if you think about it, so effectively, what they're saying is, if you talk to a cop, there's no way to tell if he's lying or not, so you're way better off not speaking to the police ever. There is no way to tell if they're being honest or untruthful if you can't trust the cop's word, right? That's what you say, then don't talk to them.
That's
ever.
right.
If that's the standard, then that's fine.
I'm not promoting not talking to police.
I am.
I'm saying that's what they're allowed to do.
That's their decision, though. It's not my decision for them to lie. That's the Supreme Court says it's okay for cops to lie to you during their investigation. When are they investigating?
All the time.
If they're at the gym, right, doing their workout, and you're sitting next to them talking to you on the phone, guess what? They're investigating.
Yep.
And that's it in a nutshell. You cannot talk to the police, period.
Now, I've had some dealings with some...
Ask your lawyer. He'll tell you.
Some affiliations with different associations, like the Oath Accountability Project. They were really big into don't talk to police. He had cards made up. This gentleman that was the head of the organization, he had cards made up that he would actually hold to his windshield, saying, "Listen, I'm not going to talk to you."
That's right.
Okay. Now, I think this guy was pretty much of a jackass. That being said, brilliant. Okay, because it gets the point across, and he actually knew the law. He knew that he didn't have to say anything.
Well, so here's the thing. So you can know the law, right? And you can be right, but doesn't mean you're not getting arrested, and it doesn't mean you can sue them and win.
Right.
All of those things are true. Everything can be true, and you can still lose.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you're a crusader, accept the fact that there's some wins and losses being a crusader.
That's true.
And I think this world definitely needs more crusaders. When I see people open carry, I'm glad I don't do it, but I'm glad they do.
Right.
And when I see people, putting cameras in cops' faces, I don't do that, but I'm glad they do.
Right. Somebody's doing it.
Somebody's doing it, and I'm really glad that they're doing it. And if I can support a YouTube channel where that happens,
I'm fine with doing that.
or whatever.
I'll give you 5 or 6 clicks, likes, or whatever.
I'll give you a few bucks on Patreon if you keep harassing the police. I'm totally down to
right.
You know, I'm not driving through DUI checkpoints just to piss them off. So that's not my style.
Or standing before them and saying, "Hey, listen, DUI checkpoint."
Yeah.
I actually watched a couple of those videos that were kind of funny.
That's not my style, but I'm super, super glad that people are doing it.
I'm glad that somebody's doing it.
Right. I personally don't feel like I need to wear a gun or walk around with a gun.
I am not afraid of people who open carry.
No.
In fact, I usually say, "Hey, listen, what are you carrying?" Because I mean, I know guns pretty well.
Yeah.
So I like to hear, okay, listen, I'm carrying a 40 Smith & Wesson, blah blah blah. And just in the last 3 days, I've had some people actually take their sidearm off and actually unload it and show it to me and say, "Hey, listen, look at this," and blah blah blah.
Yep.
It's like I'm fine with that. Listen, I actually feel a little safer around those people.
It's fine with me. I was at a gas station the other day doing some work, and guy walks in with a gun on his hip, and I'm like, "Cop? No cop. Cop? No cop. Probably a cop." And then I went back to work. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Is he waving it around? Is he demanding things? That's a different story.
Absolutely.
But this is America. You can have a gun. Deal with it. And, the cops need to be wrangled, roped in. And unfortunately, the George Floyd whole debacle, in my opinion, is not the right way to do it.
Right.
But that's what we got. So that's what we got. I don't agree with the conviction because what I saw and what I understand kind of goes in the face of what the law is. But when I see mob rule winning, I get worried.
Right.
And it's not that I don't like cops per se. Are there good ones? I'm sure. Will they narc out their
bad brethren? No,
I don't think so. If they do, great. If they don't, then I think guilt by association is completely valid.
It's
at that
legit
point.
because if you don't open up about the people who are obviously not doing good, okay, then you have that ability in yourself to not do good either.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. People who don't knock out bad cops, they have the ability to be bad cops.
I'd go as far as to say they are bad cops. If they see something and don't say something. I mean, think about this, right? So you have Derek Chauvin, who's the training officer, and then 3 rookies, right? Something like that?
3. Yep.
3 rookies who are, like, looking around like, what the hell's going on?
Right.
Are they being prosecuted? They are. And guess what?
It's not the big trial.
After the state is done, the feds are going to do it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And they can. They're not the other way around. If they're prosecuted by the feds, they can't be prosecuted by the state, from what I understand. But if they're prosecuted by... They have to be prosecuted in the right order to be double prosecuted. But so they're gonna do manslaughter. Manslaughter. That might have been appropriate, but murder. The state did murder, and the feds are gonna do constitutional
rights
violation. Right. So I don't like how any of this is going down. And again, don't like cops. Don't like the whole situation. But mob rule is bad. And when you capitulate to the mob, I think bad things are going to happen.
And then, just as as a little side note, you have, I believe it was at the Maryland House, right in front of the Maryland House, they have a statue of George Floyd that was just put up. What are you doing, putting a statue of a criminal because it is your call to social justice?
He wasn't a good guy. He wasn't a reformed bad guy. He was a guy who was high on drugs, doing whatever the hell he felt like doing.
Right.
And his heart gave out at the wrong time on camera.
Right.
And that's why we're here today. There's nothing to celebrate on either side.
Right.
The cops fucked up. He fucked up. We just had a situation all around. And what it was is bad optics plus lockdowns equals riots and then mob rule. That's it in a nutshell. And I don't like any of that, but that's what we got.
And right, it is exactly what we have all over this country right now. Now, that being said, This headline popped across my computer this morning. The Trump Organization is now being charged in New York.
New York. I thought they were giving up on that.
I thought so too.
I thought I heard, never mind. But I guess that was a
they're
trick.
being charged with a 15-year scheme to defraud on taxes.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of investigation tools these guys have, but I'd be interested to hear their evidence.
All right. Well, the IRS is the pointy part of the weapon that is the government. You understand that,
yes,
right?
So I do.
If you like Al Capone, right?
Tax evasion.
Exactly. Tell me, have you paid your taxes?
I did.
Did you do it right?
I did.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
You sure you're positive?
I'm 100%.
You didn't break any tax laws?
Nope.
All 9,000 of them. You didn't break a single one?
No, they send me a bill, I pay it. It's really that simple.
Ah.
At least that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
I didn't have to figure anything out.
If you own a business, it's not so simple.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But they send me a bill, okay? They tell me, okay, a demand for payment has been made. Okay, that's what it says actually on the tax bill. Demand for payment has been made. Okay, I didn't know they were allowed to demand stuff, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, they got guns and everything.
That's right, they do. My bad. So I mailed them a check very quickly, okay, because I didn't like their demands, okay. I mailed them a check very quickly, and they did not come back after me with guns.
Did you write in the memo field, please don't hurt me?
No, but I did put a smiley face on the one.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, I figure they need my money more than I do. But yes, the Trump Organization, the CFO of the Trump Organization, which I believe is, let me see if I can grab this guy's
You mean
name.
like his hotels or his...
Oh,
like
everything.
Everything, okay.
Oh, golf courses, hotels.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy is getting hammered to the wall.
All right.
He is the one being charged. He is the one being, he is the one that was apprehended. Okay, I believe he might have turned himself in, but yes, he is the one in trouble.
All right, I'll say this now. If he's been unlawful, then prosecute him all the way to the nines.
Sure.
If he hasn't been unlawful and this is just a witch hunt, then I guess we get to decide what kind of country we want to be. So
Okay.
either I don't know what when I made my decision on the Derek Chauvin thing, I saw testimony from the coroner saying, well, from what I saw on the video, this is what I think happened, and this is how he died.
Right.
It's not I examined the body and found this.
Oh, no.
So obviously, I understand what's going on there. So this trial, if it's a under the Article 7_5-3 subsection 8 of the of the Treaty of Versailles, they broke the law according to the subsection 3 of the, like, if they go like way out on a limb to prosecute someone, then we know what kind of country we are now.
I think we already know this. I think we already know what kind of country we're in, because this is, while it may not be a witch hunt, and I'll decide later if it is or not, this is definitely a vendetta. Because they've said it. The District Attorney of Manhattan has said he was coming after Donald Trump. Donald Trump's organization. He was coming after him. End of discussion. And lo and behold, 7 months later? There he is. We knew it was coming. Okay? So it's not out of the blue by any stretch. We all knew it was coming. I was surprised it took 7 months. So we're sitting here and we're going to see what evidence exists. I believe the district attorney's statement today said we're going to look for all the evidence and follow that evidence, and if it leads to conviction, so be it.
Again,
that doesn't sound like he has a whole lot, but whatever.
If he's got evidence and this guy has been fraudulent, then string him up. I'm fine with that. If this is a witch hunt and they're fishing, then shame on them.
That's right.
And if you're a Democrat and you're all for this, then examine who you are. Examine what are your values. Think about that. Are we on the side of truth and justice, or are we on the side of revenge and punishment? That's who do you want to be?
On one side, you also have to say, okay, thankfully, rich people can't break the law and get away with it. okay, because someone's gonna catch him. Yes and no, because they're not always gonna do it. In this case, yeah, maybe this guy's a billionaire, a multi-millionaire, whatever he is. Maybe he gets maybe he gets hanged for this or whatever, and he's held accountable. But you still have 200 or 300 other guys that are right like him. Okay, they're not being investigated because it's not Donald Trump.
Well,
They need to get this guy. They need to get him because
right.
he is floating that 2024 presidential nomination out there. He's floating that out there, and they need to get him convicted of something. Okay, because that eliminates the possibility. Like I said, I'm super surprised that it took 7 months.
Yeah.
I thought they were aiming for it earlier just to get him out of the picture. The fact that he's been able to yap his mouth for the last 7 months, or actually last 3 months, is surprising to me. But he has been able to, and that goes against what these people want. They can't have him because he is the antithesis of what they are.
Well, laws of power. You got to destroy your enemy completely.
That's true.
You can't wound them because they'll come back. So destroy them completely, or you're gonna regret it.
That's true. On a power note, a special election has been called for September 14th to recall California's Governor Newsom.
Oh, they actually got that all the way through.
They
got
it
the
there.
signatures.
I am super stoked. There's no chance in hell that he is recalled, okay? But at least I don't think so. But I think it's cool that they got this far, okay? Who's the next celebrity we can put in there? Schwarzenegger, because Schwarzenegger was.
He was governor.
Yeah, he was governor because of a recall.
Yeah.
I think it was Jerry Brown, or no, I don't remember.
I try not to get into the politics of that country.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, and they are their own country. That's
the country of California.
Oh, those
and
guys
all
are something
weird
else,
shit.
Man.
Oh my god! If it wasn't for the politics, I could totally live there. Like totally. But that's what everybody's doing. They're leaving because they can't take it anymore.
Yep.
Literally, they can't afford it on a number of levels. Like they can't afford to have their business there. They can't afford to live there with the taxes.
Housing's incredible. Taxes are rough.
They can't afford to live there.
Yeah,
so they're going to Texas.
A house around here that costs $60,000.
Yeah.
Or even in a depressed part of this area, might cost $30,000. Costs upwards of $250,000 to $300,000 there.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, the property, not the structure, but the property values.
It's crazy. Also, on a little note here, I've been watching the Olympic trials because, well, I'm a big Olympic nerd. And Tokyo has said no to any of the athletes' parents attending.
Parents?
Yep.
What's the deal with that?
Nobody's coming to watch.
Oh. Right.
I believe probably COVID concerns.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I keep forgetting that COVID's a thing.
Right. Well,
I took my kids to the dentist, and I'm like, God damn it, I need a mask.
I actually walked into my doctor's appointment without a mask on.
I bet.
Totally forgetting about it.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Where's your mask?" I don't need it. I'm vaccinated. A little argument ensued between me and the lady behind the desk.
Why did I get vaccinated again?
Yeah, exactly. She told me right out there's no plans imminently to drop that mask mandate. It will be the last one dropped if it is ever dropped. And she has told me that there's no plans to drop it.
Right.
So, good to know. I believe there are plans in place right now. But again, I believe the next lockdowns and mask mandates will, issue this. But plans to drop mask mandates on public transportation in late September.
Right when the new one's hitting?
Right then, yes. This will also be the time when the kids go back to school and are being forced to wear masks again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I'd like to know for sure is, have we decided that people who have already had the coronavirus and tested positive are immune to some sort of degree? Is that a thing? Anybody?
It's a thing to every other virus.
That's what I'm asking. Like, so, why do we not have the information to this? Like, put out an infographic where here's the truth about this. if you've been here, you're this much. If this is this
We
much.
have 180 million people in this country that have had at least one dose of that vaccine. I believe 140 million people are totally immune or totally vaccinated. I think. Hold on, I'll actually get those numbers for you because this is.
We got the numbers.
Yeah, this is actually kind of priceless to me. It is 154 million.
Oh, we're up.
Are totally vaccinated.
Was there?
Against coronavirus.
I keep hearing that there was a July 4th, like something.
There was a target date.
Target.
Yes.
What was the target? What? How?
70%.
Oh, 70%.
70%.
Oh, that's
okay?
not gonna happen.
Totally vaccinated. Well,
nobody. There's 70% don't want to be vaccinated.
Okay,
so.
listen. Right now we're at 47.2.
Oh, we're good.
And that number is crawling. So
yeah. Well, people at this point, if you were gonna get the vaccine, then you would have gotten it.
Yeah, I believe so.
Like I didn't have to wait in line to once it was everybody's turn.
Yeah.
Everybody got in line.
Yeah.
It wasn't crazy stupid to get.
I made my reservation here one night.
Yeah.
For the next day.
Yeah, it's not hard. So if you're gonna get vaccinated, then you probably got vaccinated.
Right.
The problem is there's nothing going on to encourage people to vaccinate because nobody's getting sick because it's not that deadly.
Well, in the state that we live in,
yeah,
right now we are averaging 172 new cases a day.
In the state?
In the state.
172.
172. We're down from about 3,700 back in the beginning of April.
172. That's
172
for the whole state.
For the whole state.
Right.
So
that's the ones you know about. But yeah.
Right. That's again.
Yeah.
I'm telling people.
Right.
Listen, if it's not serious, don't get tested.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just don't do it. You're a number. You're a guinea pig to them right now. Don't do it unless you are really ill. Don't get tested. Don't get tested on a lark. But with the coming sports seasons, football's coming up, hockey's coming up. These athletes they need to get tested. Okay, they need to get tested on a regular basis. So those testing numbers are going to go up, which obviously will catch more infections, and you'll see an artificial spike there that we're creating.
Right, and that's what I don't understand why people don't. I'm being a little unclear. People need to know how the process works so they can understand the numbers. And they get scared by the numbers because that's the point of it. They make people watch and they control people by scaring them. I'm not impressed. I wasn't impressed. Once I saw the Javits Center all empty, I'm like, all right, yeah, this is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that people's grandmothers died, and I get that some kid died, and I get that the guy who was super healthy and ate vegan and he's awesome and he jogged 5 miles a day, he croaked. I get that. I get there's anomalies and things happen and that maybe this is a little more deadly than the flu. But you can't lock the whole country down. Like,
right.
You
cannot mandate the whole country to do a certain thing. That is the most ridiculous concept that there is. And unfortunately, like I said earlier in the broadcast, we're at a point where we don't have that power they do. And so if they want to do it, they're going to do it again. And we've witnessed it in the past year and a half, and we're going to witness it again. Whether it's this or it's something else, it's just a matter of time. One of the headlines I've been reading lately is a big uptick in this respiratory virus called RSV. My daughter had RSV when she was 2. It's actually quite dangerous for real young kids.
Sure.
Okay? And it wasn't pretty. Okay? She was pretty sick with it.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, she was fine.
Right.
Okay?
She pulled through.
Right. And it's not dangerous per se to me, to you, okay? But right now we have epidemiologists playing that up. This big uptick in RSV. And you know why they didn't see this big uptick before? Because we wore masks. That's what they said. Okay? Because it's being spread by droplets. Another reason they will reimpose mask mandates. Mark my words. It will be done.
The only thing I can say that's at least a little bit positive is that now I see quite a bit of non-compliance because everybody's left the signs up but
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not.
Yes,
everybody's just walking in
I
without
agree
the
with
mask.
that. Yeah.
And that level of non-compliance needs to be celebrated and and applauded. It really does.
That level of open noncompliance.
Yeah.
Because we had that closed noncompliance before.
We're
It
not
was
doing it
the
anymore.
hidden stuff. It was the hidden stuff where you'd walk into a doctor's office
Yeah.
and you'd see that lady behind the desk put her mask up.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I know there's people in there with you. Okay, who are you trying to fool? I went down to an urgent care. This was back in January. I went down to an urgent care on a Sunday morning. There's 4 PAs, 2 nurses, and an intake lady. The intake lady has her mask down.
Well,
I saw it.
I felt like a fool the other day. I took my kids to the dentist, and I show up and I park in front of the door, and it says mask required for entry. I'm like, God damn it, I forgot my mask. And I looked around, I found 2 used ones, and I slapped them on the kids, sent them in. I'm like, well, I guess I can't go in with you. Good luck getting your cavities filled. And, 45 minutes later, they come out. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Hey, by the way, was everybody in there was wearing a mask? No, nobody's wearing a mask. I was like, oh, I'm such an idiot. Should have just walked in and said, I don't have a mask. Go fuck yourself. But,
My daughter's orthodontics appointment. My wife was finally allowed in the building.
Nice.
We've been, for a year now, we've been going to these ortho appointments, and my 11-year-old has had to go into the ortho by herself.
That's just wrong.
I agree. I mean, that's just not. None of it's right. So she has her phone. She can contact us if we're just sitting in a parking lot. But she was allowed in for the first time. It's like, okay, this is, no, that can't happen again.
They tried to do that with me and my mother. My mother is 80 years old, and she don't walk too well, and she don't hear too well, and she looks to me for like translation and whatnot. So you got to stay out. Well, we'll take her. And then, they're trying to talk to her. They can't understand what the hell she's saying. And they're like, oh, can you come in and, figure out what the hell she's saying? And then I'm, it's like, all right, fine. Told you.
Here's a little breaking news. CDC director says vaccinated people are safe and do not need to wear masks.
Duh.
Okay. I'm surprised to hear her say that. And
Joe Biden said it, so it must be true.
Well, right, that's true. Dr. Fauci has warned of 2 Americas developing because of the widening vaccination gap.
Is it widening?
I don't know. It's a whole.
By definition, it should be shrinking.
He says it's widening.
Well, it's not widening.
It's Dr. Fauci.
Well, yeah. So everything is backwards,
right? And the article goes on to state that the U.S. is not going to hit its 70% partial vaccination goal by Sunday.
No.
However, we will hit 7. Now, here's how they play with the numbers. This is good stuff.
Oh, good.
We will hit 70% of people over the age of 27 having been at least partially vaccinated by July 4th.
If we bump that number up to, say, age 32, we could probably get to 75%.
Or like if we bump it to 40, we can probably get to 80%.
You know what? I like 80 better. Let's go with that.
Let's go with 80.
All right, 80
I think
we
take all the things. Listen, 80% of the population over the age of 40 is now vaccinated.
That is amazing.
That's amazing.
Wow.
We should,
Job well done.
Round of applause.
Mission accomplished.
That's right. I think Joe should have just done that.
Yeah, probably.
Joe doesn't do anything. He's an idiot.
He's a puppet.
He is a puppet, and not
That's
a good
the
one.
word that you got to use. He's the puppet.
Right. I should stop making fun of him, and I should just use puppet.
He's Putin's puppet.
Oh, he's not Putin's puppet.
I don't know.
That was hard to watch.
Yeah.
His back and forth with Putin.
That
was
murderer.
hard to watch.
I think he called him a murderer,
He did.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds bad for foreign affairs, but you know what do I know?
Well,
that murderer.
Does it really matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Putin's still waiting for Trump to get back in.
I thought there was some sort of announcement, wasn't there?
No.
About him running or not running. I think there was something about that in the news.
Let's look it up real quick.
Yeah, this is real-time news, folks. Real time.
Trump announcement today, actually.
Yeah, announcement today. I know I read headlines. That's about it. I don't bother with the facts.
Let's see if I can pull it up.
Real time.
Donald Trump, he continues to promise to make America great again.
He promises to keep doing the thing he's doing, which is nothing. So I doubt he would run again. Why would you do that? Like,
Right.
that's enough punishment for one. I wouldn't run again. Hell, I wouldn't run the first time. But you know,
Right.
that's me.
Actually, it says he's gonna make an announcement about it in not too distant future, but
Oh, nothing today then. He's
doesn't
announcing the announcement today.
right.
All right, sounds like a true politician then.
Right. I guess we
Fuck
could
you.
all hope. I mean, I'd vote for him. I'd vote for
I
him.
would troll vote for him. Like,
Right. Well, I mean,
I don't really like everything he. I like the fact that it annoyed the other people,
sure.
and I like that part. But
See, I had always said that I was never going to vote for the lesser of two evils.
that's exactly right. Like, they're
I always
both
said,
pretty
I
evil.
think people who do that are just silly. Listen, I'm on that board. I'm on that train right now.
Yeah.
I'd vote for the lesser of two evils. I will do whatever is going to piss you off right now. That's just what I'm going to do.
The bigger of the two evils.
The bigger of the two evils, right? And he's pretty big. Orange Man bad.
Orange Man's pretty bad.
Oh man. So it's been almost an hour already.
Yeah.
I went on my little COVID rant. Sorry about that. I'm not sorry. I don't care.
Sorry, not
It's
sorry.
it's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
I believe we're going to be back on the air next week.
Should be.
I'm still in the area. And then I go on hiatus for a little bit. I'm gonna be not in the I'm not gonna be in the state for a while.
He's gonna be out incommunicado.
Incommunicado, sitting on the back of a porch on a cabin in the middle of the woods doing nothing.
Oh, well, that's good.
Oh man, I'm unplugged, just kind of relax, recharge the batteries.
Unplugging is really good.
Right, so I can get back here and just go to town. Bring you all the content that I want to bring you.
You're gonna contemplate your moves.
I'm gonna contemplate. Yes, a lot of contemplation.
Contemplation.
I will. I have like 4 people on my phone that I will answer messages from. Other than that, not so much. Of course, the engineer is one of them.
Oh, good.
But
I can send you updates from the hell.
right. So, but until next week, I say stay safe. Don't do anything the government tells you have to do. And
I don't
wait,
know about
wait,
that.
did I say that loud? Sorry, drone strike incoming. But
Right.
until then, have a great week. Goodbye.